Hello. Okay. So, there seems to be a new YouTube and a new Insta. So it seems like as she's cut off one troll's head, 11 more have popped up. Welcome, welcome, welcome! New heads of our Hydra. Troll against the beast. Anywho, so there's this new YouTube channel. And, what was it called? What's it called? Singrid? I think it's Singrid, Singrid. And it popped back up the video of all the people that Lori hates. Lori put it up last week saying that she put it up as a targeted video so that then when the people that she saw wanted to see it, she pulled it. Which means she said too much. She knows that it's stuff that people will actually see her true colors, and she violated the terms of service so entirely badly that yes, she could get another strike, but she cannot have another strike. So she pulled it. Well, Singrid channel pulled it out of the depths of the garbage and is putting it up, and I urge all of you to watch it. And anybody in the GB who sits there and does not know what we are talking about and goes, who, the owl of the gossip bakery needs to watch it. Don't say who. Just watch it. Watch the videos. Like if there's a forum in GB about Lisa, watch what they're talking, like watch the thing, watch the video that they're referring to, and then do the, comments about it. And that's the preface of it, because it's a forum, for, people who are on YouTube, and it's just a discussion about that. And so that's where I feel that, the GB was starting to, break down from, it used to be just freaking hilarious, good comedic relief on several YouTubers. But then, like especially in this one, people don't watch what they're supposed to watch and then comment, and instead they watch what somebody's interpretation of it is, and then attack that person's opinion on it, or the way that they saw the video based on, how they feel, and then don't even watch it or listen or anything, and then report that person's commentary as being discriminatory towards a protected class of citizens, in which it wasn't at all. In fact, it was repeating things that were said in the video that is the topic of discussion. When that happens and people start to fight back and forth, that takes away from the focus of taking down somebody who is a scammer and an animal abuser and an elderly person abuser and just an abuser all around. And that is the focus. I am not in this to bully anybody or anything. I'm in this to bring truth and light to a place where there has not seemed to be any accountability on a person in which there has never been any. So, like I say, in the GB, just please let's get it back to where it was and it was fun again. I mean, you know what? Yes. And then I can be criticized for saying, oh, is it fun watching this? No, it's not fun. But you know what? We need to have some comedic relief to keep us focused, because if you just read the negative, then it's negative. It is not funny that she put an animal down at all because she just didn't like it. It's not funny. But the whole situation is so ridiculous that you have to laugh at it to stay focused. And within that, then sub-relationships were happening between other people who were like-minded, and it was great. I used to look forward to it because it was lighthearted reading before I went, to bed. I love being able to laugh at something, and there are great and talented writers in the GB, but they are few and far between right now, because there are people who don't know, there are people who are trolling it, etc. So I will be happy when the weeds get out of GB and the people get back on topic of what it is supposed to be. And above all else, I urge everybody to go and watch this video that Singrid, Singrid, I hope I spelled that right, posted on Lori's hate video because it says a lot. It shows that side that we've all seen over the years that is truly who she is. The rest is an act. And what's funny about it is she's sitting there listing off people that she does not like, all because simply they stood up to her and said no. But she's sitting there imitating them. And isn't her number one cardinal rule that she does not watch people she does not like? Well, then how does she know exactly what they say? How does she know what little poet's animals are named? Didn't she say that's sick that I did? That I knew about somebody's animal name? Meanwhile, she's rattling off that she hates Trisha Paytas. But then in her mind, when she's rubbing the bean, she thinks she is Trisha Paytas. She wishes she was Trisha Paytas. She's obsessed with her, like in a weird, like Selena Gomez manager type of way. She's obsessed with her. She's obsessed with, what's her face, the one whose parents she started stalking. Oh God, I can't remember her name. But yeah, she's obsessed with her and thinks that she makes the exact same jewelry as hers, except for hers is cheaper. And then she sits there and talks about how she wants to copy this person and copy that, but she can't get the angle just right. She literally takes things and has always done this and brags about it, that she copies other people's things and then tries to make it hers to get money off of. Because to her, money is the only thing that she wants. She thinks if you have money, you have happiness, and that thing has gotten more money thrown at her and gone through her as a vessel of money than probably most humans alive, but she has none to show, and she's the most unhappy individual. I think that she was born into possibly a family that only believed that if you had money, you had power, and well, that sadly is, true to some degree. There's more to it than that, and certainly I don't think that many members of that family that she came from are on SSI, welfare, food stamps, rent control like she is and has been for decades. When she wants to sit there and make fun of people because they're in a trailer, she can imagine them sitting in a trailer. She lives in a rent-controlled pedophile dwelling in the armpit of Arizona. I don't know that it gets much lower than that. And then making fun of somebody who is missing a leg. Why? Why would she make fun of somebody who's walking by with a missing leg, and why would she have to look at that? What are they supposed to do? Like, oh, I shouldn't come out because I'm an amputee. What if he lost his leg defending the country that you are sitting there exploiting? The country that gives you money to sit there and eat all day like a freaking gluttonous pig and sit there and just hate all day long. What if he was, I don't know. I don't know how you would be so mean to somebody. And be like, why would I have to look at that? Oh, they has flames. Oh, flames. So what? He has a tattoo on the amputee. Have you seen the scars on your knees? And I'm not saying anything about people who've had knee replacements. My own mother's had a knee replacement, okay? And her scars, I've never seen scars so ugly as are on her. And she wants to complain that somebody is making her see their amputated leg. Didn't she say before that it was like 96 degrees? It's hot, and they're supposed to cover it because they don't want Lori to see it. Meanwhile, Lori goes and inflicts herself on people all the time. Remember when she tried to do a live at the swimming pool and tried to act like she knew everybody, and everybody was like repulsed, and she's sitting there smoking around children, and they're all like, oh my God. She tries to buddy up with anybody with tattoos, because then she thinks they'll accept her because of tattoos. That's why she has a tattoo. She thinks it's an automatic in to make people like her. And no, it's not. The tattoo company, the tattoo community does not want anything to do with her, because her tattoos are not artistic. They're not beautiful. They look like prison tattoos, but I I've even seen prison tattoos that are better. I don't know what is wrong with her. And then when she knocks on Shawnee Shawnee's only on YouTube to make money. Shawnee's never done anything on YouTube to make money. What are you doing? Are you on there because you're a benevolent person? No, you're on there because you are trying to exploit and manipulate money. That's the only thing that matters. You beg and beg and beg, but you're too lazy to go out on the street with a cardboard box and do it. You do it online. So you can sit inside your rent-controlled apartment with your animals that you neglect, trying to use them as props, and they hate you. And then you knock on her for having an MLM, but she propped you up so high in an MLM, you would have never gotten there yourself. Shawnee gave you legs under you. She gave you sales so that she could travel with you. She cheated the system for you. She gave you something you never could have earned and you didn't earn. And the only sales you got were because you exploited and intimidated others into giving them to you when you needed sales to stay in business. So what? And now you don't like the brand of jewelry that she sells or sold, but it's actually really cute jewelry. You should see it in person. And I wish that more teenage girls knew about it, because there's some beautiful pieces for proms that, I think they're just beautiful, and I would love to just wear them every day. Just go around wearing like icing every freaking day. But I mean, their stuff is nickel and nickel and I don't know, whatever causes the other allergy. But so what if it's $5? You can buy the same freaking thing at Nordstrom for $30, and then you buy it and you return it. Is what you do. So how can you ever knock on a product when you don't have any money and you prefer to just go and buy the product that's the same product, jacked up 6 times as much, held up side by side? You could not tell if one was sold at Nordstrom or Paparazzi. You couldn't. There is no way. Her brain is I act like she'd be listening to me. I should be so lucky. It's like a circus mirror. What you see isn't there. What you look around is distorted, and you look back and it's not accurate. It's just really weird. And as you go to all the people that she lists off as people on her list, that Carol show, Carol had done that. I think she was doing skits of people that oh, I'm going to pretend to be this person this day. And she pretended to be Lori Beth and was like, oh, hi. Oh, here's Pom Pom. Oh, hi, Carol. It's my mom. Oh, Burke is here. Hello. And at the time, Lori Brat thought that being friends with her would get her more views, so she acted like it didn't bother her, but truly it did. To imitate her in any way insults her. But she can imitate others, but you cannot imitate her. She can hate watch others and bash them on her channel, but if you dare to do the same, you're wrong. It's just hypocrisy at its best, all while she's claiming to be the realest, real YouTuber, whereas in actuality it's the fakest, most deceptive, manipulative, exploiting YouTuber. There are stats you can go and look at on her channel to see how much she's gotten and how much she got from Patreon and everything else. And I mean, it's a significant amount of money for somebody who's scamming SSI and on rent control and welfare and has been on for decades. guys remember when she did the fake repo? When she was like, she made this whole thing like she was at work and they took it and blah, 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 blah. It was a lie. It didn't happen. If you missed that scamathon, she started the got the white crying towel out, looks for viewers. Okay, looks for more viewers, sees if that number's up. Blubbers again. Don't pay attention to the gross bag of garbage stuck to the refrigerator behind you, please. Checks for viewers. Okay, she's got enough viewers. My car got repoed! My car got repoed! I only had 2 payments on it. My mother and I got matching cars the day we came from California and our first class seats. All against Burke's college fund. I'm going to pay her back a little bit out of my welfare check each month. I mean, out of my investments. Send money directly to me. Check for viewers. And so, like, she pulled this whole thing, blubbering about her car being repoed. And that she needed this much money because she had to pay her power bill instead of her lease that month. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it goes like that. I'm pretty sure that we could go back that month and see all the stuff that you bragged about buying. Because see, here's the thing, is that she wants to be like Lisa, who Lisa obviously can afford things and writes about what she gets. Whereas she's the Wish version of Lisa and goes and gets cheap crap and tries to brag about that. And she doesn't even have the actual money to do that. So in her buying and returning and buying and scamming and theft by deception that she does, she didn't make her lease payment is what she was saying, but she actually did. Because the blubbering, I want money. Why can't somebody just give me $100? But I don't want $100 from somebody who that's their last $100. No, I don't want that kind of $100. No. I want $100 from somebody who has so much money that it doesn't matter to them. Okay? I don't want your peasant money. I want rich people money. Okay? I want somebody who can give me like, what, $5,000. Wouldn't that be wonderful to just get $5,000? My car got repoed. It's my essence. It's everything. It's a one of a kind. It's my car. You can tell it's my car because it has no air on the driver's side and it tilts when I drive it. It's got black mold in the back. Really dirty and smelly, and it's my essence. I want my car. Right? So she's going, watching the numbers, getting that crowd all excited. Everybody's like, oh, Lori, I am so sorry this happened to you. Oh, what is your PayPal? Oh, how can I give you money? Oh, you know what? I can't give you money, but I can certainly send prayers. What can I do? Well, you could buy some Scentsy from me. That'd be helpful. Ah! No one's buying any Scentsy from me, and no one below me is selling the Scentsy like they're supposed to be. Idiots! They're not selling, so I'm not getting money from them. Going on and on, right? Almost swallowed my tongue there. Did you hear that? Anyway, I'm not a good fake crier. So, Lord. So then Burke comes in. Okay, wait for it. Burke comes in and says, why is your car parked down the street? Yep, he said it. She looked at him like she was going to tear his head off. Like she looked at him when they were gobbling that KFC that night, and he slipped up about something else that he wasn't supposed to in a scam, and her eyes like went up like a big beetle. Those big beetle feelers on top of her eyes went up, big hairy pieces of flesh above the eyes, whatever. And she looks at him and he's like, what? It got repossessed. My car got repoed. Ah, it's not my car down there. He's like, huh? So he doesn't get it. You just busted her. You had to really be listening for it because she was giving this, award-winning performance. She didn't want to quit it. She didn't want to cut the video. She kept going. And then, after she got money, she mysteriously got her car back because, that's the way it goes when you're leasing and you get it repossessed. And yeah, they would have known where her job of the week was, right? Yeah. But that's real, right? That's something that somebody who's so real that they're so real that they are real. They're like the realest real YouTuber. Yeah. She's just so jealous because she doesn't actually have any talent or originality on her own. She steals ideas. She exploits people for money. She has manipulated and exploited so many people. And the second that they call her on it or try to correct her behavior, her abhorrent behavior, then she calls them a troll and a hater. And then the window lickers pile off of their short bus and they say the same words and they're like, haters. You are a hater if you say that our leader is not good. Because no matter how much the truth and the facts are put in front of them, even if they listen to this video, they're robots and they are programmed to call me and anybody who goes against their fearful leader a hater and a troll. It's almost like you need like this whole dictionary to like interpret what she says because, she's an expert on anything she Googles, but doesn't take what the scientists or the esteemed authors of an article that has cited references says based on scientific information. She takes what she wants to believe and do what she wants to do and calls herself an expert. It makes no sense. I'm still really upset about what she did to Lizzie. Lizzie Balls, how she's so intrinsic. She could just feel that Lizzie was a woman. And then she bounces poor Lizzie like I've never seen anybody manhandle a poor reptile. She did it like it was like a squeezy toy. Like picked him up like a frog and was bouncing him. It was so horrible. And jumping up and down, and you can see these large balls, like balls, like. And so I guess because she has balls, she thought that if the lizard has big balls, then it's womanly. But just because she has womanly balls does not mean that every woman has balls. I mean, my balls itch all the time, so I wouldn't wish lady balls on anybody because they're itchy, they hang down. But anyway, enough about itchy balls. If she said she was an expert, and then she was trying to do educational videos on bearded dragon husbandry, and everything she said on there was wrong. But she said she was an expert because she had read up on it. No. So it's like she had people coming for her in the reptile community, just like, that is not what you do. But then her little pea brain also saw a mukbang of somebody giving, a reptile as many mealworms as they could So then her warped mind, I know I've talked about this, but I'm sorry. I hate it. You know, she shoved 1,001 live mealworms down a bearded dragon, and you cannot give live mealworms. You can't give mealworms to a bearded dragon. They don't have the right necessary digestive system to digest an exoskeleton of a mealworm. And so it was just so sad. She shoved it all down, and then what do you know, the color, and Lizzie just starts looking, worse and worse. And then she's like, oh, it's brumenting. And she had an expert come over and say, yeah, it's brumenting, it's not dead. No, it was dying. It was dying because they eat the inside out of their colon. So it's like if you ate 1,001 snakes and they ate you from the inside out and made you bleed out, and you're impacted because they're all in there. And what do you think would happen? And that's what happened to Lizzie Balls, and I hate it. Of course she had to go and say that, oh yeah, she gave Lizzie Balls to a better home. She won't do that. She never would. Just like anybody who offered to take poor Bella, she wouldn't, because her ego is so big she can't do that. Sorry to repeat that. It's just something that really bothered me that she did it. I know that a lot of people don't care about lizards, but it was a living thing. It was a pet. And the reason why she did it is because she saw other people that had bonded really well with their bearded dragons. People who really care for them. They become almost like their dog, and they have a leash on them. They can walk them and everything. But that takes years and years of dedicated nurturing and feeding them the right things and caring for them. And they need a lot. They need the UVA and UVB lights and all of that. And I took in one that had been horribly abused, and all I could say is that I gave it comfort care because it was already too late for it. But it was just sad. But she did it because she saw somebody else have one. And so she thought, oh, if she gets a bearded dragon and walks around with it on a leash, then she'll get viewers and people will come up to her like the freak show she is. And that's what she wants. She wants an animal that's going to be something that gets the attention. And you don't have an animal that's going to do that unless you honestly bond with it. And the way that even she treats Friday is not bonding. It's terrible. It's a puppy. Yeah, it's going to bite. It's going to chew. It does that, and then she's like, no bite, no bite, no bite. Well, that's scary because here's this puppy. And so then what does she do? She starts making the puppy nervous because the puppy knows that it's going to be yelled at and have a finger in its face. Doesn't know why. Doesn't know because it's just chewing. And a second ago, oh, that was cute behavior. And then it wasn't. But she goes and looks at the camera and acts like, see, this is how you train a dog, because she wants everybody to think she's this big special animal trainer because she runs a 3-ring circus, but she's all 3 rings of that circus. She isn't training anything. She has no skills in animal training at all. Her animals have been historically neglected and not trained in any way, shape, or form, and not even to the most basics of potty training. But each one she gets, it's going to be different. Just like a child trying to convince their parents that, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to clean my room, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this if you'll just let me have this. And then they don't. To say, I'm going to take this one for walks, and I'm going to potty train him, and I'm going to be able to take him in my purse, and I'm going to be able to do this, and I'm going to slap an emotional support vest on it. It's going to be trained to me, and I can take it anywhere I want, so then people can look at me all because I want people to look at me. Look at me. I'm Lori Pratt. But no, she's just doing that, and then, loving one and hating the other. Loving one, hating the other. It's a continuous cycle. Happened to Bella, and nothing that Bella did suggested that Bella was either blind or deaf by definition. Look it up. And then you can even look up can Chihuahuas feel jealousy? Yes, they can. They can feel emotions. And I mean, it's just sad the way she treated Bella. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she can act like she cares about animals and keep getting them and do it. I mean, does she get off on the control she has over something that is helpless to her? I mean, and then I think she doesn't train them potty wise because she is lazy and she only cares about the animals on the camera for attention, and then just totally sits there and ignores them and is ambient out the rest of the time. But I mean, does she do it just because she's got control? Does she not potty train them so that nobody else would ever want them because they're not potty trained? But then again, she was specifically looking for an animal that was not potty trained because she wanted it to be wee-wee pad trained, which a wee-wee pad on an apartment floor for now 2 dogs and a cat. Does that make sense to anybody? Doesn't make sense to me. It means that the floor is embedded with piss and shit. That's what it means to me. It smells terrible in there. The possibility exists that if, when she said that she filmed Bella being put down, it was weird because when she said it, she had no emotion to that officer. She's like, oh yeah, I know your office. You guys are so great. It was real terrible. I had to put down my, 14-year-old Chihuahua. It was real traumatic, and you guys sent me a card. It was so nice. Oh, the dog was old and deaf and blind, Yeah. It wasn't even, 2 months ago, and you're over it? You could talk like that about it? And he's looking at you like, what? It's like, what are you talking about? Not like he sat there and went and picked out a Hallmark card and signed it himself like she acts. Like, I don't know. And they don't even do it that way. I don't know what she thinks. But she also thought he was cute. So, I'm sure, he comes in that apartment. She's raging about how dare somebody do that. Well, he's looking at these animals that are just not well kept, but not against the law, apparently, unkept. I'm sure that the house smelled like piss and shit, just like she did, because she just rolled out of bed, and, I don't know. And then she's like, oh, well, he was kind of cute anyway. So when she's sitting there talking about him, she was flirting with him. So she was seeing his business. I mean, he was as professional as could be, maintaining professionalism. And she's sitting there trying everything she can, every angle, to try to manipulate him into saying what she's trying to say he's saying. Because she's trying to make it sound like, before she started filming, he was like, oh my gosh, yeah, internet trolls are awful. I got you covered, LBL. I mean, don't worry about this. I just have to do this, and thank you for letting me in. Sure, you go film this and everything. I got your big, fat I got your back. You do this. I'm going to give you the highest grade ever. It was nothing like that. She was trying to make it sound like it was. That just shows you how she just cannot read people at all. Because she doesn't have any insight. She doesn't have any empathy. She read about empathy once and then was trying to say she was an empath because she thought she'd get more views that way. Just like she tries to ASMR. Now, the voices that she makes fun of for ASMR, like Little Poet, how she's saying, I think Little Poet does ASMR, doesn't she? Jules could do ASMR. I wish Jules would. I wish Jules would read me a bedtime story on the internet so that I'd go to sleep, because I love Jules' voice. But anything that she sees that can get views, which equal money to her, she'll try and copy and do when she doesn't have like the actual research or know what she's doing. She just tries to copy it, and then people who don't know anything, will just get her like at a Google search and, oh yeah, this is ASMR. Remember she did that when she was doing the bag-a-thon for Bella's teeth to be fixed or whatever? Yeah, she did that because when she used to take in the dogs, she'd get them Vicodin. And then the veterinary clinic busted her because she was going in there getting their pain meds, and she was using them and wasn't actually giving out to the animals. So that's why she doesn't believe in vets, because they confronted her on using the pain meds they were prescribing for her neglected animals' teeth. But in that same time period, she was doing the I'm going to go and do some ASMR, big lips, crunching chips, sink ships. Okay, maybe not that part. But anyway, she wanted to go in, and yeah, she was sitting out there at the pool and was going to go inside, and everybody's all excited because she was going to go chew some chips loudly for ASMR. Her big lips. Why? Gross. She's trying to make money by eating, because people have. There are people who can overeat and get money because it's a fetish and stuff. But even the fetishizers don't want her, because there's nothing charismatic or there's no way to connect with her. She just wants the money for doing something. So she's like, oh, I love to eat. It's one of my best talents. Give me money to watch me eat. Sure. Oh, there's people who look at feed for money. Oh, look at my big Fred Flintstone clumpers. Give me money for it. Mukbang? Oh, sure, I can shovel food in better than anybody else. Prop me up by a buffet, I'll eat it all and lick the bowl. I mean, what? It's not it. It's not it. I mean, if you look at Mustang Sally, she's a plus size model. She quite possibly has like a bigger shelf butt than her, and little short blonde hair. And she gets like modeling gigs because there's something about her that, like, I don't know, people really like. I mean, I think that she sees that and doesn't understand why she doesn't have that. And it's just that, I think it's that greed, that greediness, and that gimme. Like if somebody was going to beat you up if you didn't give them their lunch money. Yeah. I mean, that's a kind of thing. It's the ticket. Oh, and you know what? And oh, yeah, she wants to say that she's always been a seller, always been an entrepreneur, always sold barrettes and sold lip gloss, even in high school. No, you did not. You didn't. You did not. So, anyway, please go and watch that video that was once deleted that Singrid dredged back up from the depths, because it's very, very telling. I think that she is very, very much on the edge of how she knows that if she gets reported one more time, because she's been suspended from YouTube several times. She got in trouble. She couldn't keep a Facebook profile. She got reported left and right. She was getting reported left and right on Etsy, and so she lost her profile before. And that's why she used to get mad when people would say, start an Etsy profile. So then she's like, fine, I will. Will you buy from me? And then they didn't. And she's like, oh, well, you need to go and die because you didn't buy from my Etsy. Rawr. You told me that you would. Rawr. And then I think she just got so many complaints again, they were going to shut her down. That's generally what is behind. Like when she moves, it's because the landlord has caught up with her. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's going to up and move right now, because animal control did come to her house and knows where she is at. I wouldn't be surprised if she's planning a big move here soon and going back to mommy in Brookline. But I don't know that she knows where mommy lives, because mommy didn't call on her birthday, so she may not know. I mean, Carol may be in the witness protection program. Carol might be in deep hiding for all we know. Carol? Where are you, Carol? Carol? Come out. Are you alive, Carol? Blink once. wonder if she's ever blinked. I don't know. Anyway, thanks again for all of the support. If you wouldn't mind making up some fake profiles and give me thumbs up too, so that all the fake profiles that report me can kind of level out, that'd be great. Because yesterday I got like a report, like within like 1 minute of my thing even airing, I got a fake profile that was just made, and a report for violation of terms of service. Oh my, what will I do? What will I do? So, again, this is a face mask just draped over the camera. I'm sorry, I'm not technologically inept enough to figure out something else to put up while I protect my anonymity so that I'm not on the list yet. I will be. My time is coming, and that's okay. That's okay if it takes the focus off of somebody else. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm not afraid. I'm not scared. I'm just protecting my anonymity for right now. But yeah, one day I put up the face mask and the inside liner was pink, and I'm not even kidding you. It looked like the privates of a man or a woman. You couldn't even tell, and it was hilarious. And I had to take it down because that surely would have gotten me reported for terms of service. But it was just the inside of a mask, but nobody would have believed me. Not for a second, they wouldn't have. So this is just a mask, and it's got like a lace to it, a lacing on it, and that's what the kind of makes it look like a 3D ultrasound, if you will. But again, thank you for listening. Thank you for the support. I do see the great things you guys write about me on GB. I am so thankful for that. Thank you so much. And I shall chat at you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.